Lawmakers are shockingly on board with the idea of allowing 9/11 victims to sue Saudi Arabia, and the White House isn't having it. Raw Story explains President Obama would veto a bill passed by both houses of Congress that would allow families of victims of the September 11th attacks to sue the government of Saudi Arabia for damages. White House spokesman Josh Earnest said on Monday, "It's not hard to imagine, quote, it's not hard to imagine other countries using this law as an excuse to haul U.S. diplomats or U.S. service members or even U.S. companies into courts all around the world," Earnest told reporters in a daily briefing. "I do anticipate the president would veto this legislation when it is presented to him," he said. Okay, so I need you to understand, we covered a story not that long ago. Somebody did sue Iran in a U.S. court, and the court said, no, totally, Iran owes you however many millions or billions of dollars it was. And by the way, they sued Iran over 9/11. Iran had absolutely nothing to do with 9/11. Nothing to do with it. But somebody sued Iran in a U.S. court, won, and got millions or billions of dollars again. Forgive me for not remembering the exact number. But now all of a sudden, when it comes to somebody who's not our enemy, but our ally, Saudi Arabia, oh, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And the president is like, yeah, I'd have to veto that. So what does this come down to? Well, it comes down to always protecting your business partner. That's what it is. So, I mean, think about it. We invaded Afghanistan over 9/11. We invaded Iraq, a country that did not attack us. We waged an offensive war against a country that didn't attack us over 9/11. They had nothing to do with it. Could you imagine if instead of invading Iraq, they did legislation that's like, you know, maybe the victims of 9/11 should be able to sue Iraq. I'm saying back when we thought they were responsible. Okay, that would seem like a weak policy, right? It would seem like, oh, you're doing the absolute bare minimum you could do if indeed Iraq was responsible for 9/11, like just allowing them to sue. Well, now we know, based off the 28 pages that are finally unredacted, that, yeah, there's some evidence that there are individuals within the Saudi government who were responsible for funding 9/11 and helping the 9/11 hijackers. And what is it, 15 of the 19 hijackers were 9/11? So now we know that they're the most responsible if any state or government is responsible. And they're like, but you can't even fucking sue them. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Forget invading. I mean, again, we invaded Iraq when it was the wrong country. Would they ever invade Saudi Arabia over this? Not that I want that. Again, I don't want that. But if it was the same response for the people who actually did it or were most responsible for it, it would be an invasion, right? That's what we did in Iraq. That's what we did in Afghanistan. It's like, oh, invasion. No, they're our ally. They're our buddy. They give us the oil cum shot on our face every Friday. So obviously, we need to love them and adore them and gently masturbate them, and that's the way the system works. So they get to spit in our eye. They get to fund 9/11 terrorists, and we get to hold hands and sing Kumbaya with them. Literally, George W. Bush held hands with the fucking Saudi prince. Literally. Or the Saudi king, I should say. All right, look at how, and this goes back to the main point, look at how you think foreign policy is made based off of human rights, based off of altruism, based off of even being the world policeman, based off of reason and rationality and having a logical response to different actions. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It's all about the global order. It's all about corporatism and business interests. It's all about natural resources. And it's all about protecting that status quo by any means necessary, even when we know Saudi Arabia was most responsible of all the different governments for 9/11. Not only are they not going to invade them, they are fucking not even going to allow the victims' families to sue the country. To sue, I don't know if it's the actual government or the individuals within the government who there's more evidence that they're responsible for, but they won't allow them to sue them. But you can sue Iran, who had nothing to do with it. I mean, the system is almost beyond parody. It's so ridiculous.